Like Matt, I'm
comment
serious.
every morning. The comment every morning when we walk in, Jason be like, "Man, it smells like tired dope and BO in here."
Yeah, tired dope and onion.
Welcome to RC Underground Radio.
Yes, I realize I look like an idiot with this mustache, and I'm okay with it.
The ultimate podcast that covers everything RC.
You don't need to cut anything either. You can just call this the raw, uncut episode. We can leave it at that.
The raw. Yeah.
Are you drinking dollar store soda again? Quit spending your money on RC stuff. You can buy some name brand soda.
RC Underground Radio is your backstage pass to the RC industry. With insiders that are shaping the future of the hobby. The future of the hobby.
When we bring this guest on, I guarantee people are going to go, "Are you kidding me?" He wrote a song.
I did.
We're going to have to end this soon, huh?
Yeah, no shit. And we're going to have to edit this.
So, here are your hosts, Dave Brinkmann and Ryan Ratzlaff.
All right, welcome to another week of RC Underground Radio. This is the show that we've all been waiting for a long time. We're going to get the inside look of the RC Chili Bowl from our compadres that were there this week. And I can tell by the way they're both feeling that the Chili Bowl flu is a real thing.
It's for real.
It's real. It's real. It's real.
Yeah, Ryan and I both loaded up on vitamin C for like a month, at least a month before, and it didn't help.
It didn't do squat.
Nope.
Nope. Didn't get you ready for anything, huh? Yeah, I know it's the same with the dog too. Matt, he's under the weather. A lot of people under the weather come back from that. I guess what's your odds, right? You're in the building with 300 people. I guess the chances that nobody's going to walk out of there.
It started off with move-in day. Monday morning, we got to the track, 4:45, 5 o'clock a.m.?
Yeah.
Pouring rain, like 38 degrees, and we're standing out there securing our spot so we can get a good pit spot. That didn't help. And once you're inside the building, it's dry, it's warm, but breathing in, tire prep.
Yeah.
The dirt, that's, we're in a horse arena. The dirt is soaked with horse pee. Yeah. That and other dirty people. Like that. I'm serious.
Every morning, the comment every morning when we walk in, Jason be like, "Man, it smells like tired dope and BO in here."
Yeah, tired dope and onion. And like Matt said, half of the people that go into the restroom, they don't wash their hands, and sure enough, I witnessed it. So we bring it all home.
So let's start it from the beginning, man. You guys are load up the cars. People are going to want to know what's the full experience. So you load up the cars. You're heading up there. What are you looking at? 9-10 hours. But actually, you guys went into Missouri somewhere, right? First run.
We headed down to Springfield, Missouri. That was a overnight stop there. Just a quick get some rest, and so we could check into the Airbnb in the morning. So that was an interesting experience in Springfield.
Let's hear about it. We want to hear it.
Oh, man. Where do we start? In Springfield? Like
an hour outside of Springfield is the Uranus Fudge Factory.
Yeah.
That place is interesting. I've been there before, but the boys haven't. And there's a lot to take in at that place.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to come in the back door at Uranus Fudge Factory.
Yeah.
Well, you're always talking rear ends, Ryan. So that had to be right up your, pun intended, right up your alley, right?
It was that was a cool joint. They had a lot of, obviously fudge there. That's what they do. But a lot of cool novelty shirts and, make Uranus great again. I thought that was a cool little slogan there. But Yeah, that was definitely a neat experience, worth the stop. I had the bladder of a parakeet too, so I think I wound up stopping every like 30, 40 miles.
Yeah, you're getting to that age, You're getting to that age where more potty stops along the way.
We're rolling down the freeway, I-44, and Ryan knows where I'm going with this. There's a clunker Jeep Cherokee pulling a junker Volkswagen Jetta, and hooked up to the Jetta is another junker. There's just like a train of junk going down the freeway. I'm like, did you guys see that Jeep pulling the Jetta? No, but we saw this one. There was like a whole line of them. They're all coming from like an auction or going to the dump or something.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. So I took a video of it in my car as I'm, cruising past these. And there were some expletives in it because I was just shocked. I'd never seen one junker dragging two junkers behind him. I sent it to Derek, and he like immediately uploaded it to his Instagram, to the Carpy's Instagram. And later on that night, he's like, "Dude, this thing's got over like 2,000 views already." I was like, "Are you serious?" It was awesome. It was awesome.
That's hilarious. All right, so that's one way to kick it off. Seeing strange and unusual.
Oh, yeah. It got even worse once we got into Springfield. Let me tell you. So Jason got something in his eye, so we needed to get some drops or some Visine or whatever. So we went to Applebee's because that's what everybody does when they're out on the road. Just go to Applebee's for a quick bite to eat. And there was a Walmart next door. Well, he and Tony went over to that Walmart, and Tony came back and he goes, "Man, you know how they have like the people of Walmart Facebook posts and all that stuff?" He goes, "They all come from this Walmart in Springfield, Missouri."
He's not lying. It was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
There's like a half a dozen squads parked out front, and I thought, oh man, something's going on. Nope, they're just wandering monitoring what's going on in there. It was horrible.
Just waiting for something. They know something's coming.
They know something's
going to happen.
Something's going to pop off. Hotel was cool. That was fine. So yeah, we traveled probably 9 hours the first day, and then we had a 2.5 hour drive into Tulsa Sunday morning. We were able to get into the house. We rented a house. We were able to get in early.
There was rumors that house was very close to the expo. Is that true? Or
yeah, we were literally 2 blocks from the track.
Okay.
If you stood on our front porch, you could see the big driller out in front.
How'd you pull that one off? Who set that deal up?
That was me. I booked that. I booked that house last March. Yeah, I like to plan ahead.
Yeah, I said that in the show last week. I'm like, it had to be Jason that did the hometown hookup on that one somehow, some way.
Move-in day is kind of like the old Black Fridays, like at Walmart and Target. And they open up the door. It's just a mad rush. People are jockeying for position. And we were the first ones in line. We were there 4 hours in the cold and the rain. Door goes up. Now, Tony and I are big dudes, and we're getting pushed aside by like ladies.
Yeah,
that didn't fly. So we didn't make any friends that right away.
We did get a good spot. We had planned out. We had actually went over the day before, kind of scoping the track out, seeing what's going on. Talked to some of the people. Checked out hot laps too at the actual Chili Bowl, which my first time ever there. That was so cool, just to witness that. I mean, the sound. I mean, you could hear them literally on our front porch and even in our living room of our Airbnb. But yeah, as far as load-in day, we had our spot planned. We had figured out what we wanted to do, where we wanted to be, how we were going to kind of lay things out. Back to, Jason being the planner, he kind of is like, all right, boys, this is what we need to do. And it worked out really well. I thought we had a really actually a prime spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, we were off the dirt, off in the corner, away from all the dust coming off the track. It was perfect. Neighbors were cool.
Yeah, that's the other part. I mean, you probably met a lot of new people, right? Right off the bat. I think, everybody's there for the same reason, just have a good time to start. I'm sure it gets more competitive as the week goes on, but yeah. So like, where were people from? Some of the other states that were around you, like pretty much from everywhere?
Well, it's actually crazy. We were at our Airbnb, and we're outside. We're taking some cars out. This was, I think it was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we're taking our cars out and just running them out in the street, scuffing in tires and things like that. And
scuffing in new bodies.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. But okay, I got to tell this story through my perspective. All right, so Jason gets his car out there. He's the first one in the street, and he's wow, flying up and down the street, right? And I was like, oh, right on, So Tony brings his car out. I think he brought his street stock or his B-Mod. I think it was his street stock. He brings it out. No body on it, right? And they're drag racing down the street, and I was like, this ain't going to be good. This will not be good. Well, Tony's got pretty big motor in that thing, so he pulled a little bit on Jason, but then he brake checked Jason. Now, Jason has a brand new body on his car. This thing went like just catapulting and slid, I don't know, Jason, like 90 feet on the roof.
At least a block.
It was insane. It was insane. So it's like, here you go. You want to go in a chili bowl looking all good. And here Jason's car slid on its dome for about a full city block. It was. But I think he lost 3.
What was I most worried about?
I think just the vinyl.
The body pins.
Oh, the body clips. Yeah. He's like, where'd my body clips go? They were all gone. So there's a guy across the street pulls up and he's like, oh, you guys need some more speed or something like that. Turns out he was running Chili Bowl. He's from Seattle. Had flown in that day. So, I mean, that's about as West Coast as one can get. And I know there were people, definitely East Coast people out there too. We just met, there were people all over the country.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had the Salvis brothers. They're from Quebec. So they come down and they ran PTs on Saturday, which is in Bloomington, Illinois. Then they cruise down to Tulsa. They spend the week there. And I think they're going to Snowbirds too. So they're on the road for like a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, they put a lot of miles on. They got a big rig too.
Yeah, people really get into this stuff. I mean, they do it just like the big boys do, right? They're out on the road and got their haulers and all their stuff. And so, did you see a lot of that? You see a lot of trailers inside the building.
There were a few. It's hard at RC Chili Bowl if you've got a trailer because you're kind of in a separate area. You're kind of quarantined off a little bit.
Okay.
It's one thing if you've got a trailer and it's all set up, ready to go, and you can just wheel in. That's great. But it does kind of separate you a little bit from the event,
Yeah.
It's kind of take it or leave it, right? I mean, if you're more of an introvert, you definitely want to be in a trailer and you have the means, go for it. But something about being there around all those people, and that was really cool, being inside.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be separated. I wouldn't, a lot of the guys, they bring trailers, but like Ryan said, they're in a separate building. You're isolated. I want to go there for the whole experience, mix it up with the people. Because
I saw, I think Justin Haley, right? Didn't he have a trailer? Did he have it more in that area?
He was in the regular building with us. He was part of Paul Peterson's pit.
Okay.
Justin has a beautiful trailer. Really, really nice.
But you talk about a guy that is intense in RC, and we can go more into it, but that dude is dialed in.
Yeah, let's start with Jason. Just tell us a little bit about what you saw with him.
He and I have, we're in a group chat with Paul Peterson and a couple other guys, and kind of standoffish, which I can understand. He doesn't want to give up too much. But after talking to him for a while, he's just a regular dude with a really cool job. He shared a lot with Ryan and I, a lot of speed secrets, which was cool. I won't divulge, but yeah, we learned a ton. The guy has just got cars figured out, and racing real cars, I've learned, is really the real car racers are so much better at setting cars up than a hobbyist like me. He really knows his stuff. Cool dude.
So what do you think that is? I mean, obviously it's experience with cars and how shocks work and all that, but sometimes RC cars can be different than full-size cars. So what do you really think that advantage is?
I think he lives and breathes racing. When he's not running his cup car, he's running his dirt modified. When he's not doing that, he's at the RC track. The three of us, we have different things in our life that are going on. That dude is racing. That's all he does. So I think that helps,
How can I say this? He's entrenched in the hobby, and he knows what he's doing. And I will be the first to stand up on, a tabletop and say, hey, this dude's legit. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the track surface and all of that, but in his A main in street stock, he was up against some crazy competition in that street stock class. And you got Drake Hartzell, who was, putting his car sideways into the corners, and Haley's car, he was coming off like he was, he was driving on asphalt. I mean, that's how smooth and consistent he was. He knew what he was doing to that car. And when he talked to me about, what he was doing in between runs in terms of maintenance and all of that, I mean,
yeah, that's another level.
Yeah, he's on point. He's on point. You cannot take anything away from that guy. He was the smoothest driver out there, the most consistent. I think if you were to go back and look at his consistency in my laps, I think he would have smoked everybody.
And he didn't have the fastest car.
No, he didn't need it.
It was. Yeah, he was by far not the fastest one out there, but dude is so smooth.
Folks, are you looking to gain an extra 10th on the racetrack? Or maybe hoping to have a few more ladies in your pit area? Listen, I'm sorry to say that Carpies can't work miracles in those departments. But here's the good news. The folks at Carpies can definitely help you become the ultimate toy car nerd like me. How do you ask? With their custom RC wraps and killer collection of official RC branded merch. So, while they can't promise to shave a 10th off your lap time, they sure as heck can make you look cool. So go ahead and use promo code RCU10 upon checkout at carpys.com for 10% off. Again, that's promo code RCU10 upon checkout. Carpies, wrapping winners since 2013.
Who are some of those aces, and then who were like some shockers that you saw out there?
Grant Riles, super nice dude, super fast. Justin Draymire, he's a big country guy, bib overalls. You see him on the street, you'd be like, farmer, truck driver, big rough dude is so smooth on the track, so fast. Local guy, Brian Laurent, he races with us at Attitude. He's always super fast, super smooth. He had some bad luck last week. I don't think he did as well as I would expect him to. Cole Hartline, young kid out of Illinois, fast, smooth, good driver, has a good team behind him, supporting him. Had a really good week, I think, in the mains, had some bad luck. It's a mix. You go in there and track surface is way different than what we're used to. You can't explain the dirt. It's just completely different. Track maintenance crew, I think, did a really good job. But the cold temperature outside made the HVAC system, the heating, constantly running, so that dried it out. So it was anyone's ball game.
And do you think they do that on purpose, or is it because of that, because of the environmental issues involved? Do they have to really keep it more of a soft track or whatever you want to call it?
Well, they actually have track rebuilds built into the day. I think it's like every 16 to 18 races, they till the track. I think it's like 2 inches of the top of the track they till up. They run it in, water it a little bit. So when the first five or six runs, it's loose. It's loose dirt. When I was there 2 years ago, temperature outside was warmer. It was in the 70s. The heat in the building wasn't running. So you'd bring your track off and you'd have mud packed in the wheels. This year you didn't. So it was a lot drier, tricky, but everyone has to race on the same surface, and some people can figure it out and others can't.
So how'd you find that, Ryan? How'd you find that loose dirt? I knew you knew going into it was going to be different than what you run at Trackside or Attitude. So was it what you expected?
Yeah, Trackside's pretty high bite, and Attitude, it's a different type of dirt. It was a lot. It was a lot of learning, and the thing is you've got a lot of good established racers. I mean, the crew I was with, Jason Walecki, Jason Van Nuys, Tony Balistrieri, Jordan, even those guys are telling me, do this, do that, and I would listen to a good majority of it, and some of it I'm like, no, I'm going to stick with it, like turning my radio down, Jason.
Yeah.
You should have just grabbed me and bopped me over the head because I'm a goon. But it's a lot. And, tightening that car up, because on that loose dirt, especially after a while, after it got dusty, it was one groove. And if you got out of the groove a half a car, your lap was destroyed. And then you're trying to play catch up, you're dumping into the corner. I mean, it was a challenge for me. Now, after racing it for a week, I think I was getting close. I know my B mod was I would say decent. I could certainly drive the car. My street stock, I just could not get control of. And, that's all part of it, is just understanding the track surface. But it was a huge learning experience for me. I mean, I look at it as mission accomplished. I learned a lot, took away some good notes. I did a lot of note taking to make sure that on that type of track condition, I'll be set up and ready to go.
All right, so let's take a snapshot of you guys' day one. Let's go day by day. So day one, you get some hot laps, you get some practice.
Day one was the longest day ever. That was the day I wanted to just put a bullet in my head. like Jason had mentioned, we were literally there at 5 a.m. I mean, up at the crack of dawn. I think, didn't we leave you, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way the house was set up, my bedroom was like an addition to the house. So you had to go through a game room to get to my bedroom. And I'm up at 4:30. I'm ready to go. And I'm trying to be quiet. I know Michaela was going to sleep in. Well, it comes 5 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going. Screw these guys. I don't care if they're sleeping or not. And I tiptoe out into the living room. Nobody's up. It's all dark. I look outside. These fools left me. No cars in the driveway. They're already at the track. And I asked Ryan, I'm like, where are you? Oh, we're at the track. We wanted you to sleep. So, yeah, move in. The first day, move in at 9 o'clock. And you set up your pit, which takes a while. We had quite a bit of space. Registration, handout motors for the wingless class. And then I believe we got on track around 4 p.m. for practice. And Ryan and I went together, and I knew it was coming. He's not used to all that power. First lap, all I hear was, whoa, 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 whoa. He wasn't used to all that speed.
No.
So the line was like 1,000,000 miles long, but you only get like 2 minutes of practice. So you take your car, you go to the end of the line, try to get as many rounds of practice as you can. I think I got a total of 5 rounds of practice between the two cars. Ryan probably about the same. It's a trip.
Yeah.
You get no track time.
Yeah, you get absolutely no track time. And like literally you're standing in line. And then on top of it, it's not practice by division. So you're out there with,
everybody
sprints. I mean, and you're like, okay, well, I don't, I'm cruising along in a big B mod. Last thing I want to do is take out a wingless car or something like that. So you got to be cognizant of that. That kind of instantly makes you a little bit better of a driver because you're really looking ahead to make sure you don't blast somebody. But yeah, that was rough. And I don't think we got out of the track till, probably 11 that night.
Yeah, about 10 o'clock. Yeah, I think they shut it down.
Wow. Okay, so first night is pretty much just practice, get as many rounds as you can. So then day 2 is when it starts to get a little more organized. You are starting to run in your classes. So again, day 2 now.
Day 2, you show up at 7 a.m. and doors open. think practice started at 8, and they had it separated by class. So all the mods ran together, all the wing sprints ran together, all the late models. And then after that, again, you only got like 2.5 minutes. That was your practice for the day. And then later in the day, they started a seating round. And the way they do that is they give you 2.5 or 3 minutes, and you got to put together 5 good laps. And that determines your starting position in the qualifiers for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Or Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, so how'd that go for you, Jason?
Not too good. No, not at all. I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I was blowing off the left rear.
Yeah. Go into that a little bit. So what in the
was that
world?
Papa Willie's?
What in the world was going on there?
We thought it was like a bad batch of tire glue because the glue was really brittle. So that played a part in it. And the car was just leaning too much. It was leaning too hard on the right. So I didn't have enough droop in that left rear to keep the traction. So I would unload that left rear. It would balloon up and pop the bead. I did that 3 times on my mod. So I junked 3 tires within 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. So there's a company that takes photos there. What's the name of that photo company? Jason?
Oh,
Filmar. So they were taking action shots, and Jason and I were like, let's go check out some pictures, right? And we're clicking through all the thumbnails, and I see his car, and then I was like, dude, look at that. Look at that. And he's like, oh, man. I mean, it looks rowdy as heck, but it's no good, obviously, for the car.
Right. I think that picture pretty much broke the internet.
It's a cool picture, but man, it was embarrassing. I'm like, oh, God. That's just terrible.
It was, I honestly think it was certainly a batch of bad glue, and then obviously just maybe not enough droop in that left rear, but that car was fast.
Dave, I'll send you some pictures. I have a right front, going in the corner, I have a right front tire that's ballooned up like a pizza cutter too. So they're pretty cool shots.
All right, so how'd your day go, Brian?
Learning. Street stock, I should have turned that thing down to about 40%. I was running a 10.
Now you say it. I was on him all week. Turn your radio down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Oh, I'm going to send it.
That's
I turned it down. It was what's up. I turned it down about 75%.
What do you mean by when you say turn the radio down?
If you think it on a scale of 0 to 100, obviously we all want 100. But we're just turning down that max capacity, right? Or that max throttle input.
And that's basically just to try to keep the wheels under you, right?
How quickly the car gets up to speed, right? Or the motor does. Playing a lot with that. But I learned a lot through that process. B-Mod was pretty rowdy right out of the gate. Had to tighten it up a little bit, but through all that, you getting a little damage, so on and so forth. My motor was getting really hot, and I was running a 5-turn motive, an MC4. And huge shout out to Zach Rose. I actually took my motor over to him. Well, here's the thing. My 5-turn was getting hot. I pulled it out, and it just was not very free. There was an issue with it. I didn't know. Walked over to the Witts booth, bought a new 5.5 turn motor, and thought, you know what, Zach Rose is here. I'm gonna see what he thinks, and gave it to him. He's like, buddy, I think you might have dropped some solder down in it or something. Let me take care of it for you. I'll have it ready in the morning. And I'm like, really? Sure enough, he threw a new rotor in it and sensor board. Had it in the morning, so the Witts went in the box and threw the 5-turn back in, and the MC4, and it had plenty of power all week. But B-Mod was definitely the car. But again, you get so much corners, or you get so much straightaway speed with those cars, and then slowing them down. I mean, I was getting body rub and all sorts of stuff. So I was, having to that, and I was hitting some stuff too. So that kind of affected things, but we were able to trim that up. And because I did have an instance where my right front was actually hitting my body a little bit and creating a massive push with the car. So Once we got that taken care of, it was pretty decent. And then a lot of it really boiled down to, staying in the groove. It was a one groove track. As I mentioned before, the minute you got out of it, it would really upset me. And I'm not experienced enough to be able to settle back in as quickly as some other drivers would. It seemed like when I could turn, a lap and stay in the groove, I was wicked fast, but it's just, maintaining that talent level.
Yeah. The concentration has to be wild in something like that. I mean, you're racing against really good drivers, right? So
best of the best.
Best of the best. So, okay. So your day 2 is, you're like you said, you're learning. Cars starting to come around. More comfortable in the B mod than the street stock, would you say?
For me,
fair?
Yeah.
All right. How about a shout out to the rest of the boys? So how are the rest of the Wisconsin team doing?
They're struggling along with us. It's and everyone in the building. Just constantly wrenching, bouncing ideas off of each other, which is cool. It's the biggest dirt oval race in the world. Nobody gets more entries. And as competitive as it is, you can go to your neighbor and bounce ideas off them, and go to the big guys, Zach Rose, any of the custom works guys. They're more than willing to help you out. Matt Murphy is usually really good. He was out sick. But yeah, we all pretty much were struggling along together, and every day we got a little bit faster, a little bit more consistent. The whole team, Jordan, Tony, Jason, even Michaela, all helping each other out. It was pretty cool team that we had.
I mean, Jason Van Nuys he is the Iron Man. The dude is incredible with his driving skills, his setup abilities, and even he was struggling a little bit. So we were kind of all in that same boat, and but we all talked through it. Hey, what's going on? What are the issues? That type of thing. So it worked out well for all of us. But again, we improved. Every time we went out, we always improved.
All right. So you get through day 2. You kind of think about what you're going to do for day 3. But before that, what happens behind the scenes in day 2? You got to go back. Is there any Tulsa nightlife? Is there anybody that gets together? Does everybody think they're going to do that, but then they're so doggone tired, everybody just wants to go home and rest? Or how's that roll?
The coolest thing that we did, in my opinion, is we had like family dinners. So the first night, I'll call them the Van Nuyses. We each bought a steak, but they did all the sides and stuff. Jason cooked them up. Michaela baked like a pie and we had all the fixings and all that stuff. So we had a really nice family dinner. Tony did lasagna one night. Jason did like Mexican night, tacos and queso and all that stuff. So we had that. And I did chili one night. Jordan did pizza.
Nice. That was Italian night.
Yeah, it was Italian night.
It was supposed to be something else, but
yeah, homie was a little too wrecked up. But so you have all these intentions of going out. I'm gonna party, yeah. And it's like, you know what? I spent a lot of money to be here. I'm with good people. Let's just get a good night's rest and get after it in the morning. Because to burn the midnight oil, I personally didn't need to do it. I mean, and there were a lot of nights like, I swear, Walecki, he turns into a pumpkin after like 11 o'clock. So dude was already off. You were already off sleeping, Jason. But
yep.
I mean, there were a lot of nights where it was me, Tony Balistrieri, Jason Van Nuys. Michaela would kind of head off to bed a little early, but we just sit up and talk racing. We were watching stuff from the Chili Bowl on Flow on the TV at the house. Just kicking back, relaxing. And we're all older now, so it's like,
right.
Yeah, nightlife. I don't think it was that crazy, Jason. I think one night I got into some moonshine with some hillbillies.
Oh boy,
that's why you're sick,
dude. No, that
sharing
it knocks
the jar.
Everything out. It knocked everything out.
Right, but sharing the jar, man.
It's that damn Super 8 that we stayed at Saturday night.
Yeah, that place is pretty shady,
and I could barely even sleep every night. So check this out. Yeah. So Jason experienced it one night, maybe two. But my boy Tony, between me and him, I bet you they could hear us at the actual Chili Bowl snoring.
Snoring away.
I had noise cancel. I had my AirPods in on noise canceling that I'd sleep with at night to try and, hey, I get it. People snore. It's no big deal. And me and Tony, we were rooming together. So yeah, if it wasn't him sawing wood, I was. It was just, yeah. Our room was a blast. But so there, you'd lose some sleep there, just right out of the gate.
I can imagine what it was like in there on chili night. I don't want to know.
Yeah, it smelled like farts and
even Michaela says, I've never heard or smelled more farts in my life.
Oh yeah.
She was like our little sister, we just after day one, she's just one of the guys, and she took it like a champ. She was awesome.
Well,
yeah,
did she race? Did you guys say she raced? No, she's.
I wish she would. She's probably pretty good.
She's got a hell of a chief.
Yeah.
She's a good woman. Her and Jason, they're obviously a couple that are really good together. And she was just an absolute sweetheart. She was like, kind of like the house mom, taking care of us. I mean, my laundry was done one day. I'm like, what the hell are you doing that for? You don't have to. But no, she was really. It was nice actually having her on the trip. And but yeah, she did. She was kind of one of the guys after a while. We didn't. I don't think we held anything back.
No, I apologized for our behavior, but yeah, she took it like a champ.
The ladies, they had a lot to this racing. I know, Jason, you posted a little note that your wife actually had in your bag. That's super awesome.
Yeah, she's exceptional when it comes to this stuff. She's super supportive, and anytime I want to just take a 2 or 3 day trip somewhere, and just like go, and I'll stay in like the dumpiest hotel to save money. And she's like, no, she's awesome. She's way supportive. I know I'm lucky. That's why I sent her flowers.
Yeah, that was awesome too. I saw that too. But I think she's saying going in a little nicer hotel because she really doesn't want you to bring the bed bugs home.
Right? She's seen pictures. Yeah, I've stayed in some dumps.
Right.
And Jason was like the dad on the trip, because he's like, dude, did you send your wife flowers? I was like, no, I didn't even send her some flowers. Okay, Dad. So I did. I sent Holly some flowers too, but I admit it was all Walecki's idea. Holly, I'm sorry. But yeah, just super cool having supportive, wives back at home that allow us to do this stuff and hang out for a week, especially given everything that we were experiencing up here in Wisconsin. We're sitting down in Tulsa and shoot, what was it, 15-degree weather while, it's -4 up here and 18 inches of snow. It's like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to day 3. We still got a lot of days to go. I'm already feeling the Chili Bowl grind. I'm even there just talking about it.
You're going to get the Chili Bowl flu here just talking about all this.
Yeah, right. It's coming right through the airwaves, right? So, okay, we're up to day 3. What's different from day 2 to day 3? Jason, take us through your day.
It's getting a little bit more serious now. You're seeing, where you're seating, get your first qualifier in. You want to just keep working your way up. I think day 1, I was like 30th with both cars. I'm like, I gotta do better. So it gets a little more serious, less joking around, more concentrating, spending more time at the track, monitoring track conditions, because you can look and see, okay, I'm 5th race after a rebuild. So you go out there for the rebuild earlier in the day, and you see, okay, 5 races later, the track is going to be like this. And you try to make adjustments that way. You get a little bit more focused on what you're doing. Still having a good time, but so after day 3, I think I moved up a few spots with both cars. I think Ryan did too. All the guys did, actually. But yeah, you hit it. It starts to become a grind. You're there 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Day 3, you're like, oh man. And I've said this a million times, the days are super long at Chili Bowl, but the week goes by fast. Before you know it, holy crap, it's Thursday, and you got 2 more days.
I was amazed for the times that I try to peek in and watch each of your races and stuff, keep up with that. But I was amazed at how flattened that track got. And I think people that don't really realize RC cars versus real racing, like that's why they have to rerun a track, regroom a track at your major dirt track, right? Just because everything's getting compacted. And I was shocked to see how fast and how compacted the RC track got.
Yeah. I think, what was it? Tuesday night after Monday or Tuesday night after seating.
Tuesday night, yeah.
They had open practice, and they don't do any track maintenance for open practice after the day is done. And our cars were like 3/4 of a second to 1 second faster per lap as it started to rubber up. You can just see it's just getting darker, and you got that blue group, and you're just flying. I'm like, oh man, I wish they would just leave the track like this all day.
Yeah.
You're boogieing.
All right, everybody. This is just so much good stuff. We can't cram it all into one show. So this is going to be the end of episode 1. Boys, I want to thank you so much for bringing so much content. You brought way more back from Tulsa than I think we anticipated, but it's been fun so far.
Yeah, we brought a lot back, like diseases.
Pink eye and Golden Corral herpes.
Oh, Golden Corral. Oh.
All right. You got to wait for the next episode to hear more stories.
Thank you for listening to the RC Underground Radio Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your fellow racers about the show. Tune in again next week for more RC content.